Hello boys and girls. Today I'm going to show you a craft. We are going to make a paper plate clock to help you practice your telling time. Okay, the materials that you'll need are 2 paper plates. It's better if they're all white, but if they're not, you can use the back, which should be all white on your paper plate. You need a large and a small bobby pin. You can compromise with other items as long as it can clip into the plate. You'll see as you watch the video. You need scissors and glue and something to write with, preferably something that can write pretty dark. Now please ask your parents to help you because there's going to be some cutting and some poking with the scissors, and I don't want anyone to get hurt. Okay, we are going to start with just 1 paper plate. Okay, take your paper plate and try to find the absolute middle of your plate and make a dot with your marker. Okay. Next, we're going to put the hours on our analog clock. There's an order that I put my hours on so that they're spaced evenly. Please follow along with me as we put the hours on our clock. Let's start with 12. That goes at the very top. And we're going to go straight across from 12. Does anyone know what number's at the bottom of the clock? It's 6. So the reason we put 12 and 6 first is so that it's lined up straight. Next, over here on the right-hand side of the clock, we have 3. And when you go straight across this way, you have 9. Feel free to pause this video at any point in time that you feel like I'm going too fast so that you can catch up to what step we're on. After I put 12, 6, 3, and 9, then I can fill in the middle. There's only 2 numbers that come in between each of these sections, so make sure you space them evenly. Okay, and it may not be perfect, but as long as it's pretty close, evenly spaced, then you're good to go. All right, those were the first steps of our paper plate clock. The next thing we're going to do is cut our plate. This is where you might need some help from an adult. Okay, we are going to cut a line that goes right in the middle of 2 numbers. Okay, and don't cut it too far down the plate. You don't want to cut it into this middle part. Maybe just cut to where the number ends. All right, so take a look at how I'm going to do this. I'm right in between 2 numbers, and I'm just going to snip it till about where the food would go. And I'm going to do that in between each number. Remember, please use a parent's help when cutting your plate. You don't want anyone to have a hurt finger from their scissors. Okay, so now look at my clock. Okay. Now we need our glue. Flip your plate upside down to the part you did not write on. you're going to take your glue, and don't put glue where you cut, only on the part that's not cut. Glue it all up, okay? Now I'm going to put this plate on the second plate and smush it down. Okay, so now I have flippy flaps that open to the plate behind it, and these should be glued together. Okay. The reason we have these flippy flaps is because on the underneath, we're going to put how many minutes have passed if the minute hand were pointing to that number. Okay, well, let's start with what comes first. If the minute hand is pointing here, okay, that means it's a new hour. It's something o'clock. 0 minutes have passed. So let's open this up, and when we put 0 minutes have passed, it's a 0, 0. When you say it's something o'clock, you say it's 0, 0. Okay? You also could say this is 60 minutes have passed if the minute hand went all the way around and back up. That's 60 minutes, but it's also 0 minutes because it's the start of the next hour. When we count minutes, we count around the clock by fives, starting with 0, 0, 5. Very good. So pull down the 1, and you can put 0, 5. When you write the digital time, it's not just 5, it's 0, 5. It has to be 2 digits over there. All right, let's start again. Count by 5, starting with 0, 0, 5. Good, 10. Okay, and continue counting by 5s all the way around your clock. Remember, when you get to 60, it's 0. Okay, so now you have your hours on your clock, you have your minutes on your clock, and the last thing we need to do is put our hands on the clock. All right, we have a big hand, a long hand and a short hand. Mrs. Salimi doesn't use the words big and small because the short hand is actually fat, and some people might call that the big hand because it's fat. So we call it tall and short. Now please get a parent, an adult, to do this part for you because this will hurt your hand. The parent or adult needs to stick one piece of the scissor here and poke a hole. This is for a parent or adult to do. You could really hurt yourself. Once your parent or adult has poked the hole in the middle, you can take your bobby pins and stick one end in the front, one end in the back for both. And now you have a tall and a short hand. Okay, now you can practice telling time. If my clock looks like this, we can practice telling time. First you say the hour. Okay, I see the hour hand is pointed between the 1 and 2, which means it's 1 something, hasn't gotten to the 2 yet, 1 something, and I'm going to see if I remember how many minutes have gone by when the minute hand is here. I can count it out, counting by 5s, starting with 0, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now let's check my answer. I was right. Keep practicing telling time with your clocks, boys and girls. Have somebody make a time for you and you guess what time it is, or you can do it the other way around. I hope you enjoyed this craft and that it helps you practice telling time.